Good morning, investors and traders. Today, we're going to answer one of the most important questions, and that is, are Bitcoin and gold prices heading lower? Because that is the concern. So let's have a look at that and then see where are these prices moving to? Why are they moving in that direction? And more importantly, if we can find some important support or resistance zones, aka your buy or sell zones, and see what does that mean for the price action. Now, before we begin that, as always, it is important for me to go through this disclaimer, which is right in front of you. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask me. A bit about myself: I come with a wealth of about 15 years of trading experience. During this time period, I have worked as a hedge fund trader for Bank of New York Mellon, as an equity trader with Bank of America, and currently providing services as a chief analyst to Trade. Now, folks, the chart which is right in front of you is your daily chart, and that is your Bitcoin's daily chart. We have three different moving averages on this particular chart. To begin with, we have your 50, then your 100, and finally your 200, a simple moving average. Why do I have these moving averages? Because these are the moving averages which institutions always pay attention to, because for them, as long as the price continues to stay above these moving averages as it is, they believe that this bull trend is very much in place. But when the price begins to break below these moving averages, like it did over here and like it did over here, this shows that bulls are losing control, and it is bears who have more momentum in their favor. And that really reflects the price action, because as you can see over here, when the price broke below the 50-day simple moving average, it went towards the 100-day simple moving average, and then it continued its journey from there onwards to the downside, confirming that bulls have lost control and it is bears who have the most of the control. And then the price came all the way to this particular zone, which is known as the support zone, or also known as the buy zone. By the way, I mentioned this particular area of buy zone or a support zone in our previous video, and the link for that is right in front of you if you wanted to have a look at it. Now, of course, if you like the content, please smash that like button, and then let me remind you that the market consistently change, and that means you need to be aware of the most up-to-date information. And for that reason, I urge you guys to subscribe to our channel, because that way you get all the important information straight away. So now the prices are moving back, they've moved back to the upside. But what we have not seen so far is the price challenging the 200-day simple moving average. We see that the price did challenge the 200-day simple moving average over here, but this particular move, which initially seemed like that, okay, perhaps the bottom is in place, now seems like that isn't the case, because the price literally failed to break above the highs of these particular candle, and today it is sharply moving to the downside, and it seems like that the price is likely to challenge this support area once again. Now the question really is the only support area where the price is really likely to find its bottom, or is the only area where the price is more likely to move to the upside? Well, the answer to that is that now we need to readjust our support zone as of today, and then now what we're going to do is we're going to focus on some important area, and then I'm really focusing on this sort of a zone, on this candle, and by looking at that, so we believe that this could be another better area of support if the price comes over here. One can argue that you could potentially be looking at this area of small consolidation. So really we'll be looking at this area, so really this area of consolidation, and in reality you'll be looking at just this area of consolidation, and then you'll be saying that, okay, this is a much better area of support, because if the price continues to move to the downside, now this time it is much more likely to come into this area of support, and this is where we could see the prices for, coming to a level where the price would be off at least 75% from its all-time high, and this could be the area of that big support, a big rally really taking place. So now what I have done is I have moved my previous support zone to this area. However, if the price changes its direction, and if it moves above the 200 simple moving average, then we could certainly move our support zone back to our previous support zone of over here, which was over here. But if that doesn't really happen, that means that we really need to move our support zone. We need to adopt, we need to show our flexibility, and then really move the support zone into this area, because then that means that this is more likely to be violated and the price is going to come into this area of support. Overall, the price momentum seems to be very bearish because the 50-day simple moving average is trading below the 100-day, and it is still quite far from the price action, because what we really want to see is a price moving back above the 50-day simple moving average on the daily time frame. Now, if we look on the time frame such smaller time frame such as the 4-hour time frame over here, once again we see that momentum failing to break to the upside. Now the price is challenging the 50-day simple moving average. The hope is certainly that the price will stay above the 50-day simple moving average, but it doesn't seem like it. However, the indication to that is really going to be coming from the 30-minute time frame, and it is your 30-minute time frame where we did see the initial price action breaking to the downside. The initial bearish signs are really coming, and that is when the price broke below the 50-day simple moving average. It gave us a very, very clear signal that the price is once again heading to the downside. Now, what we really want to see on the 30-minute time frame is the price moving back above the 50-day simple moving average. That would be your sign of strength. And then on the 4-hour time frame, we want the price to stay above the 50-day and the 100-day simple moving average. That will be your time, your sign of strength. And then on the daily time frame, we want the price to break above the 200-day simple moving average. Now, quickly moving on to gold prices. Gold prices have moved away from our defined area of resistance, which we mentioned in our previous analysis. We mentioned this analysis in our analysis that this is your area of resistance. Now the price has entered into our defined area of support, which we also mentioned in our previous videos, and that runs from 1851 to 1864. Now the likely chances are that the price can move from here to the upside. However, there are chances that the price can continue and then it can actually move into its next area of support, which is really at 1822 to 1837. 1851 to 1864 is our first area of support, but at the same time it is important to pay attention to something which is quite important, and that is that the 50-day simple moving average over here has moved above the 100-day simple moving average, and it is about to cross above the 200-day simple moving average, which is also another positive sign. All right, so we will continue to monitor them. That's all for now, and I'll see you guys next time.